Well, that's pre-season done and dusted. We've got our first 2 Premier League games of the season coming up. What could possibly go wrong? Hello there and welcome to episode 2 of Let's Go Villa. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video where we're going to be playing the first 2 Premier League games of the season against West Ham United and Crystal Palace. What could possibly go wrong? If you're looking forward to seeing those games, please do leave a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any lovely FM content from yours truly. Since you were last with me, we've done the transfer, well, I say we've done the transfer window. We're not at deadline day yet, but we have done pre-season. We are most of the way through the transfer window and predictably, we haven't done a lot in terms of business because we haven't got a lot of money. If you look at the money down here, it isn't looking that good if I'm being honest with you. We actually have sold a player, so that money should be a lot higher than it is, but we have hemorrhaged money in the first part of the season, so I have a balance of just under £3 million. It's not been good. We have apparently made a profit. I don't really know how, but as you can see, £7 million has gone down the toilet in the last month, and that's just in August as well. That's not counting last month as well, so that's not ideal. Again, we know the projections don't look good, but I'm hoping that European football will fix that. So it is a bit of a race against time to get in there. Obviously, the owners can put money in as well. I'm looking at the debt and the transfer debt. Once the transfer debt is gone, we'll be absolutely fine. It's just how long it takes to clear that transfer debt. That's the issue. So it might be a case of having to be very, very careful financially, which I haven't done yet, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. Had to do it a little bit at Parma, but it would have sorted itself out eventually. So we do need to keep an eye on these things and hope that the owners are going to be happy to put their hands in their pockets. Now, I mentioned a transfer out. That transfer out. We'll move over to the other side. There we go. Thank you, Future Stu. The transfer out is Anwar El Ghazi. £6.5 million. He's gone to Burnley. I wasn't going to use him. I just wasn't going to use him. And then the hope was we were going to bring in a young, not a young player necessarily, but we're going to bring in a loan player who wasn't going to cost us anything. Now, that has proved very difficult. It does prove difficult sometimes if it's not deadline day. So, after this episode, we'll obviously go through deadline day and I'll try and get someone in then. Now, one bit of business we have done. Ashley Young. Now, dear viewer, you might be thinking to yourself, but Stu, isn't Ashley Young already at Aston Villa in real life? Dear viewer, you are correct. For some reason, the game had him at Galatasaray, and I don't really understand why. Now, I don't know whether it's because he was a free... Well, I think it was because he might have been a free agent at the beginning of this game, possibly. Or at least he might have been a free agent at the end of the season that this new database I've got, the FM enhanced database that I've got. I don't know whether it's because he's technically a free agent at the end of that, and then he signed a new contract in real life. It might be something to do with that. I don't know if he had a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal. I don't know. There's a gremlin in the system. It had him at Galatasaray, so I've just moved him over. Now, he moved to Villa in real life from Inter on a free transfer, so I've just done that. I've kept his wage the same. I've not touched anything else. He has joined us, and he does give us a few more options as well. He's not actually that good as a winger anymore, which, I mean, when I was growing up, he was a winger at Villa. Like, I don't like this because I still think he could do a job there, but he's going to be coming in as a backup left and right back. So on that note, we are trying to move on Freddie Gilbert. That is proving to be a bit of a challenge, but there are transfer offers on the table for him. There's a £5 million offer from Lyon. Apologies for that. That was my phone alarm in the background. We have got a £5 million offer in from Lyon for him, so hopefully we're going to be moving Freddie Gilbert on and getting some money in as well, and obviously getting his wages off the wage bill as well, £25,000 a week. We've already got the wage of El Ghazi off the books as well, so hopefully with him gone as well, that'll help the finances a little bit possibly, and it also help make up for the £57,000 a week we've had to find for Ashley Young. It does, however, solve an issue, which was who's going to be our vice captain. In real life, Ashley Young is the club captain, John McGinn is the matchday captain. I ain't doing that. Tyrone Mings is going to stay as our captain. I just think he is the right person for the job, but Ashley Young is going to be our vice captain, and then Danny Ings is probably going to be next alongside Emi Martinez, Douglas Luiz, players like that. No, not Kane Kessler-Hayden. He's going out on loan. He's also only 18. He's not going to play, so he's definitely not going to be one of our captains. But that is all looking good to me. And we have got the game against West Ham coming up. And this is going to be the 11 that we're going to be using to face them. It is Martinez in goal, Young, Diego Carlos, Mings and Augustinson in defence, Kamara, Coutinho and McGinn in the midfield with Buendia, Watkins and Ings up front. That's the wrong tactic. 1 second. I don't know what fast Stu was playing at because Digne is absolutely fit and he will be starting if he's fit, so I don't know what's happened there. So, start that again. Martinez in goal, Young, Diego Carlos, Mings, Digne in defence. Kamara, Coutinho and McGinn in the midfield with Buendia on the wing and Watkins and Ings playing up front in that offset front two that I mentioned in the last episode. I think I'd been playing with the other system in pre-season and we'd been playing someone else over there. I think one of the youngsters had played over there, and then I just did the personnel, I didn't do the systems. That's on me. So that is the system we're going to use. It's the system we talked about in pre-season. It's done well for us in pre-season, and we're going to see how it does well in the league as well. I don't know how this is going to go. Pre-season's been a bit up and down. Some games we battered teams. A couple of games we really should have done better than we did. And it's got me feeling a little bit nervous. However, the team on paper looks good. I have faith in this tactic, and we have got backups if we need them. So, without any further ado, let's get this season underway. Villa versus West Ham. Let's go. First game of the season. Here we go. Villa versus West Ham. Battle of the Claret and Blues. It's going to be very interesting to see how we do here. I've got absolutely no idea. The game speed is not quick enough, by the way. First game I've played, I didn't play any of the friendlies, so it's the first time I'm actually seeing our team in action. And yeah, I forgot to do the game speed. I've just spent a minute fiddling with all the camera settings because I hadn't done anything regarding those either. So hopefully it looks about how my saves usually look. Martinez coming well out of his box there, but it's a great ball up to Ollie Watkins, who looks for Lucas Digne now into John McGinn. And we're dominating the early proceedings here, which, to be fair, in the real-life fixture, we did do that, and it didn't really matter. But Ashley Young, wow. And he's not a good winger. Huh? What a strike that is from Ashley Young, and it is Aston Villa 1, West Ham United 0. It is a wonderful goal from the stand-in right-back. He is playing today, by the way, because Matty Cash has got an injury. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. But that's the reason why he is starting today, and he has announced himself. I know, technically, he'd already been in the club for a season, but the game didn't want him to be. So, welcome back, I guess, to the club vice-captain. I don't know. I don't know how to make sense of what on earth happened with that, to be honest with you. But it is 1-0 to us. That is the most important thing. And we are looking very good in the early proceedings, which is definitely a promising thing. Although that ball was pretty terrible. Right, Diego Carlos gets it down to Kamara now. Playing it between themselves, which is nice. A big ball over to Emi Buendia. Emi Buendia going to look to get a cross in. Does he do that? Oh, he does really well there. Gets to Coutinho. Coutinho trying to whip it in. And it was nearly messed up by Areola. But it is cleared out by the West Ham United defence. And we are doing very, very well here. I am really happy with how we're playing. It is kind of how I wanted to see us play. We're putting all the pressure on them. We're keeping the ball. Passing it around nicely. As soon as I say that, Coutinho gives the ball away. That's not ideal in the slightest. Thomas Soucek now into Samaka. Is it Samaka or Skamaka? I'm not too sure. But Danny Ings on the ball into Buendia. Buendia running wide. He's knocked down by Aaron Cresswell. And that surely has to be a penalty, Mr. Referee. That has to be a penalty. He did put his hand up to his ear. He's listening to the little man in his ear. And VAR says it is going to be a penalty. Because, of course, it is. No doubt in my mind that was going to be a penalty. And the penalty is going to be taken, I think, by Danny Ings. I'm not 100% sure who our penalty taker is. It is Danny Ings. And it is going to be... What a penalty. 2-0 to Aston Villa. With a belter of a penalty, and we lead this game in the first 8 minutes by 2-0. Very different from the real-life fixture, where we struggled to do anything. We were the top team, but we just struggled to get through them, and in the end, we lost by 1-0. We are 2-0 up inside 8 minutes in this version of the universe, and I'm very happy about it. Very, very happy indeed. I won't lie. The pre-season results had me a little bit worried. There was a couple of results where we maybe didn't get past teams as easily as we should have done. Maybe we didn't beat one or two teams that we should have beaten. But we're looking very good, and I'm very happy about that. Martinez now building out from the back. Gets to Young. Diego Carlos into Kamara. We're on key highlights, by the way, but it feels like we've had nothing but highlights so far. Watkins into McGinn. Big ball over to Danny Ings. Danny Ings looking to get a third of the game. His second of the game. But he's not able to. And the highlight ends. We have been utterly dominant so far, and I like to see it. I don't know about you. Right, Digne whipping it in. He was looking for Tyrone Mings, couldn't find him, but Paulo Fornals now has the run on us. He's got one player ahead of him. Players are running to join the attack, but our players are running back in defence as well. Ben Rama has to be offside there, surely. Has to be offside. Referee. That's what I thought. Miles offside. Skamaka was down over there as well. I don't know what happened to him, but that was miles offside. Even I could see that, and I'm usually really bad at calling that kind of thing. I'm glad, because that was really poor defending from us, and it was not very good goalkeeping either. So I'm kind of, oh, that's really poor from Ollie Watkins. What a poor pass that was, and we've left ourselves in a bit of pressure here. Jared Bowen now looking for options, gets to Fornals. Ben Rama Gets to Kufal. Kufal into Mings. Mings tries to clear it. He ends up hitting Kufal in the face, and it does come back into danger. They still have possession now. Kufal looking to whip the ball in. Gets it to Skamaka, and it is just wide. We do have to be careful. We do know how dangerous this West Ham United team can be. We used them at the start of FM22. They were our main save on the channel for a while, and we are very familiar with a lot of these players like Fornals, like Bowen, like Soucek, like Rice. We built a team of absolute superstars using the foundation that's in this team, and as you can see, Jared Bowen immediately, as I'm saying that, pulls the goal back. So we do need to be very, very careful, because West Ham United are dangerous. We're just going to encourage the team. Let's not let our heads drop. Let's carry on, because we are doing well here. We do need to be careful. That left-hand side is going to be a weakness for us. The fact that we haven't got a winger out there to add any cover to the fullback is going to be a bit of an issue. But I do think it's worth it with the system that we're playing. At the moment, it's causing them all sorts of issues. So I'm not going to be against keeping it that way, even if we do concede the odd goal here or there, at least for the short term. Maybe when we have new players in, when we let players go, it'll change things. Maybe as the season goes on, we'll decide that Ollie Watkins is better off as a winger and he'll offer more cover. I don't know. But for now, I don't really want to change things because it has worked for us. Digne now looking for options. Gets past Zuma into Ollie Watkins, and Danny Ings is there to make it 3-1 on the stroke of half-time. The 45th minute is the third goal for us. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm so happy that we're winning. It's 3-1 to Aston Villa against West Ham, and that will do. I'll be happy if that's the final score. Very happy indeed. Digne does really well to get past Zuma here. Very well indeed. Zuma just stands there. Watkins to Ings. Ings to goal. 3-1. That'll do. And that's why I want Watkins playing where he is, because he's going to cause problems for the West Ham United defence. Any defence, in fact. And Tyrone Mings, the club captain, still the club captain, very close to making it 4. And we have a deep free kick here as well. We are not settling for 3, are we? Coutinho going to be with the deep free kick. Going to look for someone. He's looking for Danny Ings. And Danny Ings might just have a first half hat-trick here. The referee is going to check it. I was looking to see whether there was an offside. I'm not so sure that there was, to be honest with you. There isn't. It is 4-1. We lead. And I think we're top of the table as things stand. That's all do. And Danny Ings has a first half hat-trick. Sure. All right. I ain't going to complain. That's fine. Nowhere near an offside there. Behave yourselves, West Ham United players, if you were calling for that. 4-1 at half-time. That will do. I'm delighted. I am genuinely delighted. Ollie Watkins is making the space that we want him to. Yes, Lucas Digne has been a little bit exposed. Yes, the defence are still kind of working together to form a partnership. Tyrone Mings was out for the majority of the pre-season on either international duty or just on holiday, to be honest with you. So he's going to be working on his fitness still. Diego Carlos is going to be working on the partnership they've got together. Kamara needs a bit of a telling off because he needs to be very careful. He is on a yellow card. He's one of our only players. In fact, he is our only player on a yellow card, so we do need to be a bit careful. First highlight of the half, and it is us on the ball. Tyrone Mings as well. We need to be shouting at him to calm down too. We don't want any silly red cards. That would not be ideal, especially from someone like the club captain, Tyrone Mings. Right, Ashley Young. What a run that is from him. Whipping it in, looking for Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins does get the header, and Danny Ings is there to poke home. It's 5-1, unless the referee disallows it. I don't know whether he will. I'm not too sure. There's a tell whether you can tell if a goal's been disallowed. I don't know what it is, because we're winning 5-1. What a team this Villa side is. What's going on? What a cross that is from Young, by the way. And again, Watkins drawing the defender out of position, and Danny Ings has the space to just poke it home. It's 4-1. 4-1. It's 4-1. Danny Ings, West Ham. That's what it is. It's 5-1 everyone else, but just Danny Ings versus West Ham, it's 4-1. Good effort, boys. Right, let's make some changes, shall we? Let's have a look, see what we can do. So, Tyrone Mings, he is doing well. He's as improved, but we are going to take him off just because of the yellow card. So Ezri Konsa is going to come on. Diego Carlos does prefer to play on the left-hand side, so we're going to move him back over there, and Ezri Konsa can play on the right. And then for my next trick, we have got more substitutions, by the way. The update that's been put in this database has got the 5 substitutions. Oh, it's 6 substitutions, actually, because we've already... Is it 6 or 5? I think it is 5, actually. I don't think it counts until I've confirmed them, so... We are going to continue on and make those changes. Marvelous Nakamba's going to come on. And we're going to make a third change, I think, just to freshen things up a little bit. I think John McGinn could stay on. Coutinho's having a good game. Oh, I don't know. We might take Coutinho off, actually. Let's rest him. We'll bring Jacob Ramsey on. We might as well. Let's get him some football in him. And then we'll make the other changes a little bit further in. I think I already know who I'm going to make for those changes, to be honest with you. What a first game this has been. Antonio's had to come on to try and force something. They've got Cornet on, they've got Tello on as well. Digne's got a free kick here. He's going for the worldie, and Areola does make the save, but it is going to be a corner to Aston Villa, and I think it's going to be Digne to take. It is indeed. He's going to whip the ball in. He's going to look for the head of Tyrone. No, it's not Tyrone Mings anymore. Is it Diego Carlos? And, oh, there's an offside there. Lucas Digne left the ball. He knew it was offside, but it was too late anyway. The pass had been played. Right, final changes. I think we're going to take Digne off and bring Augustinson on. And then for the final change, we're going to take Danny Ings off. He's had a great game. And we're going to bring Cameron Archer on for, I think, what would be his debut in this universe. Obviously, he has played for Villa in real life. He scored a few goals for us, actually. And he's obviously played at other clubs on loan, but he is going to come on and have a few minutes as well. And let's see whether we can get a 6. If we don't, it's not the end of the world. I'm happy with the performance we've had so far. We've looked solid. We've looked defensively solid for the most part as well. And Cameron Archer's in here. And if Cameron Archer can get a goal, it's the icing on the cake. We've got an uniced cake. That's what we've got. An uniced cake. But the cake is still lovely. I'll take the cake. The cake is fine. Probably can tell from looking at me, I do enjoy a bit of cake. So I'm okay with us just having the 5. But if we can get a 6, I'll be really happy. I'll just have to settle for being happy then, won't I? I can't be unhappy with that. 5-1 on the opening day of the season. And I was a bit curious as to how we'd play. I was a bit curious as to whether we might be a bit defensively vulnerable, especially down this side. That is where their goal came from, to be fair. But I think we did a good enough job there, to be honest, boys. Good effort, lads. Tyrone Mings, I would like a better performance from him in the future, if I'm honest. That's the only disappointment that I had in that. But we won 5-1. We're top of the Premier League. That's it. Season over. That'll do. Goodbye, everybody. That is perfect. That is a perfect start to the season. Jack Grealish, by the way, second top goal scorer. I'll take that. That's made me happy. I don't know why that's made me as happy as it has, but it has done. Ollie Watkins with 2 assists, by the way. That system, for as long as we have the personnel we have, is looking good so far. So fingers crossed it will continue that way. Right, I'm going to get to the Crystal Palace game, and hopefully we'll make it 2 from 2. Just to confirm, Freddie Gilbert has left the club. £5 million, £4.5 million of that went into the transfer kitty and into the club. So we have got a bit of a better balance now, which has helped things out a little bit, which is good. That's not why we're here, though. We're here for the Crystal Palace game. And this is the 11 that's going to be playing against Crystal Palace. It's the same 11. I'm not going to read it out. It's exactly the same 11. We have had another injury, though. Callum Chambers did pick up a knock in training. He is mostly fit. He could probably come back in. Matty Cash is still about a week away from injury. But it's the same 11. We're just going to go out there and we're going to try and do it again. Fingers crossed we can. Let's give it a go, shall we? Let's go. I'm not expecting the same level of performance we got in the West Ham United game, but I would expect us to still have a good shout of doing well against Crystal Palace. I would like to think that. Free kick there from Lucas Digne, first highlight. Didn't go anywhere, really, and Crystal Palace have an early highlight here as well. I think it's going to be Milivojevic. It is him. He's going to have a crack at it, and Martinez makes a very good save. I was very close to saying we do know how those usually end. It didn't end how it normally ends, actually, and we end up still level. It is a corner. Eze now whips it in, looking for one of his teammates, but Lucas Digne does clear it. Danny Ings in a foot race with Wilfried Zaha. Zaha just absolutely levels him there, and he's going to be a deep free kick to us. Tyrone Mings is going to take it. Gets to John McGinn. McGinn to Kamara. We're going to start building from the back. Hopefully, it would lead to a goal. I would very much like that. A big ball over the top, but Lucas Digne isn't able to get there. He does need to get back a little bit, though, because he is effectively the winger and the fullback on that side. Watkins now into Digne. Watkins going to try and look for space. He does find some. Watkins now looking for options. Puts it back to John McGinn. McGinn into Kamara, and the chance has probably gone away a little bit here. Coutinho now looking for options. Gets to Ashley Young. Into Danny Ings, and Danny Ings makes it 1-0. And he continues his fantastic start to the season. He has scored his 5th goal in 2 games. It's our 6th goal in 2 games. Most of them have been the Ings. It's the Danny Ings show. I was going to title this episode Start to the first Premier League games. I might just title it The Danny Ings Show, because he's had an incredible start to the season for us. Absolutely superb. It's 1-0 in the 7th minute. We lead. Happy days. Let's carry on, boys. Carry on as we were. Forget what I said. I know I said it's probably not going to be as extreme as the West Ham game. Don't worry about that. You just do what you want to do, boys. I'm quite content for you to go nuts. Just absolutely go nuts, please. Tyrone Mings is having a shocking time at the moment. I don't understand why. I really don't. He wants to play as a stopper. I don't really use stoppers and cover defenders. I'm happy with a defender on defends. I don't mind what their role is other than that. I'm just happy with the defender on defend. He's just struggling a little bit at the beginning of the season, but then he isn't fully fit, so I do need to bear that in mind. I mean, his fitness at the moment, we'll have a look in a second. We'll say that one. We'll encourage them. We will just tell Ashley Young to calm down, though. Let's just say that there. He's currently... Yeah, he's not fit. He's losing sharpness, so we do need to give him the 90 minutes today, I think. Unless something drastically goes wrong, then we won't, obviously. But we do need to keep an eye on him because he's not playing quite at the level that he should be able to play at. I can't imagine it's just because he's not playing as a stopper. He's perfectly capable of playing as a defender on defence, so I can't imagine it would be that. We've just intercepted that free kick beautifully there, and Lucas Digne now out to Buendia. Buendia hasn't really done much in this game so far. Would be nice to see something from him. Gets the ball over to Coutinho. Coutinho looking for Danny Ings. Can't quite find him. And Kamara doesn't win that battle against Edouard. He's now out of position. But John McGinn just wins the ball there like an absolute boss. Gets to Lucas Digne. Digne now looking for options. Hasn't got many because, again, he is on his own on that wing. But players have drifted out to join him. McGinns? Watkins and McGinn is what I was trying to say. I just combined them together. Coutinho now into Buendia, and that is what I wanted to see from Emi Buendia. Something contributing to a goal, and he's gone and scored, and that will do plenty. It is 2-0 to Aston Villa in the 59th minute. It might have been the 58th minute before it ticked over. Not 100% sure, but it is good play on that wing. I said Lucas Digne might be a bit isolated, but he has had support there from both McGinn and Watkins, who I combined to McGinns, because apparently that's their combined name now. But it is 2-0. That will do. Very happy with that. It did tick over to 59th minute. I don't think any of you care about that, really, but I do. Just want to get my facts right. It is 2-0. Currently top of the league. Save has started off very well indeed. I can't imagine that this is going to continue. I really can't imagine it whatsoever. Mings is still struggling, which is a bit of a concern. Hopefully it is just his fitness, and hopefully he does improve. Anyone watched my Villa save on FM22 over on Twitch, you'll know that there were a couple of players we did really fall out with who just didn't play very well. One of them was Emi Martinez. I think I've included that clip in the first episode. If I haven't included it, I will put it on the channel because I have downloaded it over from Twitch. I did make it a highlight. Watkins can't get on the end of that. The other one was Jack Grealish. We took until the final season and a half, like season 3 and season 4. Season 4 was a bit of a weird one. It's a sending off for Crystal Palace while I'm rambling, by the way. It took until like season 3 and season 4 to get Jack Grealish to play consistently, and in the end, the way that we solved it was we just ended up making him a super sub. So I'm hoping Tyrone Mings doesn't end up being that kind of player, but he's definitely struggling at the moment. Right, changes. We are going to bring Buendia off, even though he's had a good time. We are going to take him off for Leon Bailey, who apparently he's not playing very well. It's because he needs to be an inverted winger, Stu. And you knew that as well, so I don't know why that was a surprise to you. So he's going to go there. Ollie Watkins could come off as well. Do we bring him off? I think we do. We'll bring him off. We'll bring Cameron Archer on. We'll have Cameron Archer play as that pressing forward. I think he can do a job there. I do want to keep Tyrone Mings on. I just want to make sure he has some time to kind of grow into the role. So we will do that, and we will do that as well. That'll do. That'll be the first couple of changes. And then we'll make the rest of them on the 79th, 80th minute. That seems like the standard procedure. That seems like the thing to do. There we go. We'll do that now. No more highlights between now and then. I'll tell you what we are going to do. We're going to bring Coutinho over here. And we're going to make him a deep line playmaker on support, which might seem like a crazy thing to do. But if you watched the Parma save, you'll know that he's very, very good in that role, actually. And we're going to turn Jacob Ramsey into a central midfielder on attack. I think he's got the ability to play that role superbly. We do have one more. No, we have 2 more changes, in fact. So Ashley Young is knackered, but we don't actually have a right back to bring on for him because of the injury to Matty Cash. So Ezri Konsa can come on and fill in there. And then for my final trick, I think Douglas Luiz needs a bit of football, so we're going to bring him on for Boubacar Kamara, and we'll keep him as a half-back. He can do a job there. It does waste some of his attacking potential, but he can do a job there defensively. He's pretty good. McGinn now gets it to Lucas Digne. Gets it over to Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey looking for options. Into Ashley Young. Young over to Bailey. Coutinho goes down. Surely, referee. Mr. Referee. Surely. That was a penalty. No? Alright. Guess it's not a penalty. Jacob Ramsey gets the ball down to Ezri Konsa. Konsa can play it right back. We've seen him do it a few times for, at Villa, as can Courtney Hawes. I'm still annoyed that Courtney Hawes has been sat out on loan because I do think he's a very useful defender. He can fill in a few gaps for us. Coutinho now gets it over to Douglas Luiz, into Diego Carlos. Danny Mings? Tyrone Mings. Stu, come on now. Come on now. What is Tyrone Mings doing, by the way? He's just gone on a bit of a run. He is prone to doing that in real life, actually, so it's quite cool to see it reflected in the game. It's not cool when you don't want him to do that, but I suppose it is quite cool. And it's just a wild header from Leon Bailey. I mean, I'm glad that we don't need a goal because that would have infuriated me with that header. Right, Bailey into Archer. Archer looking for options. Tries to get to Bailey, but they just weren't on the same wavelength. It's fine. That's not the end of the world. Carlos now gets it into Ezri Konsa. Konsa doing really well on this side, by the way. And Leon Bailey's in. And Leon Bailey really should have gone for the goal, but it's ended up working out. I don't really know how, but Danny Ings yet again with a goal. Oh, he's a goal machine. Oh, I love him. Oh, that man. Oh, that man. Diego Carlos starts things off, getting this to Ezri Konsa, who as a makeshift right back has been superb since he's come on, into Leon Bailey. And Leon Bailey has an open goal practically. It's a tight angle, yes, but it is an open goal. Ends up getting it to Ings. It kind of takes the long way around to get there, but it does. And it is 3-0, and we are going to be taking the 3 points home unless something dramatic happens. And oh my word, Diego Carlos. Diego, very close to getting a goal there, but doesn't quite do it. Coutinho now gets it to Douglas Luiz, back to Felipe Coutinho. I'd love to see Coutinho just stick one top bins. That'd be amazing. It's not going to happen though. Lucas Digne gets it to Leon Bailey, down to Konsa. Konsa looking for options. Is he going to be able to whip it in, or is he going to wait for support? Waits for support instead. Leon Bailey into Coutinho. Coutinho nearly grants my request. That would have been perfect. That would have been absolutely perfect, but it is not to be, at least not yet anyway. Maybe we'll see one of those at some point. This has got goal written all over it. At least say looking to stick this top bins, and I think he's going to do that. Yeah, you can tell from free kicks like that it's going to happen, but it's absolutely fine. We're in the 90th minute. We're 3 goals ahead. Now only 2 goals ahead, but that is not enough time for them to fully come back. I mean, he's not even bothered picking the ball up because he knows as well. He knows it's game over. I mean, a free kick like that is more powerful than a penalty in Football Manager at times, I think. It is just one of those things. Tyrone Mings needs to sort his life out a little bit. I do think we need to have a bit of a chat with him because it's 2 games in a row where he's not. I mean, he looked okay in the last game in the end, but the ratings weren't there. I mean, I'm gonna actually berate him now because he's not played well, and he needs to know that he's not played well. Right, Danny Ings. Have we got time for another one? I'm happy for another one. I don't know about you. I don't know about the players. I would like another goal. That'd be superb. Right, Tyrone. Now's your chance. Danny Ings. Danny Ings is a cheat code. What a ball that is from Coutinho as well. But Danny Ings is an absolute cheat code. He's just scored back-to-back. I'm sure he scored 2 in this game already. I'm sure he has. Coutinho with the ball in. What a pass and what a goal. What a pass and what a goal. He's just scored back-to-back hat-tricks in these first 2 games. He actually has. What a man. What a player. Goodness me. I am going to have another chat with you because you've not played well. You need to step your game up, quite frankly, because it's been a bit shocking so far. And look at that for a table. I mean, it's not going to last. When we come up against the big boys, we are going to get put back in our lane quite comprehensively. I have no doubt of that. But what a start to the season that is. Leon Bailey, I mean, I wouldn't say he impressed. I would say that's putting it very generously. There were a couple of moments where I was a bit like, but what a start that is. What an absolute start. Right, we are going to have, well, we're going to issue a warning. And then, I don't know whether I can still chat with him because I said something, no, I can actually. Not good enough. Right. Hopefully that will motivate him. And again, I'm hopefully putting it down to that. What are we training him on? I mean, I don't know whether this actually makes a difference, but I do like to make sure people are training on the position that they're doing. I might turn him into a central defender on defend, actually, and see whether that makes a difference. I don't know whether maybe he's a bit loose in possession. I might have a look at the stats in there. But that is an incredible start to the season. We're top of the league. Danny Ings is a top goal scorer with 7 goals from 2 games, because, of course, he is. Danny Ings is the best player in the league, apparently. Felipe Coutinho is the most assists in the league. Yes, he is the most assists. You heard that sentence right. Ollie Watkins is on that list as well. Player of the match is Danny Ings, as you can imagine. And we don't have a clean sheet. That's the one thing we don't have so far, is a clean sheet. So we could improve just on that. But I would call that a successful episode, if I'm honest with you. Right, we are going to be back we might as well go through to kind of October, November. I think we'll do that. We'll try and get through the season a bit quickly in this first one because obviously we've only really got the Premier League and the domestic competitions to go with. I can't imagine we're going to get too far in those. You watch, we'll win one of them now. So we'll come around in this period here, maybe for one of the first big games of the season, Manchester City, something like that. So maybe Brighton and Man City. We'll come back somewhere in that region and we'll see exactly what's what at that point and see whether we can maintain this fabulous start. Again, just to reiterate, 5-1, 4-1. It's the Danny Ings show, and we're all invited. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss any lovely FM content from yours truly. I've been Stubo, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video where Danny Ings will probably score another hat-trick. Cheers, see you later.